Hello and welcome to SatTV Week, the news programme for the international satellite industry. This week, Helen Jameson talks to Ann Liebshultz, Executive Director of the US-Israel Science and Technology Foundation. James Shortland reports on SSTL's new ground station, and Tricia Jones has the launch news. But first, here's Carrie Ann with the news headlines.
Radio Televizija Slovenia has extended its long-standing relationship with Eutelsat with a new 10-year contract for capacity at the flagship Hotbird video neighbourhood. The new agreement was signed by Marko Fili, Director General of Slovenia's national public broadcaster, and Michael de Rosen, Eutelsat's CEO. RTV first selected Eutelsat's Hotbird neighbourhood in 1997 to launch digital television, and today transmits 3 national channels, 1 regional channel and 5 radio stations to a growing base of cable, IP and satellite homes in Slovenia and across the Hotbird reach of Europe, North Africa and the Middle East. Globecast and Japan International Broadcasting have announced that NHK World HD has launched on the Sky and Freesat platforms in the UK. Globecast provides re-encoding, uplink and capacity on Eutelsat's Eurobird 1, bringing the channel to a new community of over 10 million Sky subscribers and over 1 million Freesat viewers. Available on Sky, NHK World HD is a 24/7 English language channel produced by JIB and NHK, Japan's public broadcaster, fed live from Tokyo. The feed is downlinked in France at Globecast teleports and sent via fibre on Globecast's backbone network to the London Operations Centre, where the video is re-encoded and AC3 audio is added. The channel is then uplinked to the Eurobird 1 satellite for the Sky platform.
Carrie Ann will be back later with more news. A new joint US-Israel space R&D incubator has recently been set up, and Helen Jameson spoke to its executive director, Ann Liebshultz, and started by asking her the reasons behind its establishment.
For purposes of background, I just want to share with you that our organization is a nonprofit here in Washington, D.C., and we were actually set up by a joint initiative between the U.S. Department of Commerce and Israel's equivalent, which is the Ministry of Industry, Trade, and Labor, and we were established specifically to facilitate R&D cooperation between the U.S. and Israel. And recently, we held a U.S.-Israel commercial space roundtable in Tel Aviv, and we did this in light of shifts in both the U.S. and Israel's commercial space policy. Both nations are looking at how to spur more activity in the commercial space sector, both from a logistics and transportation and moving our astronauts into space. And they're looking at ways to spur development in this space. So looking at shifts both in the U.S. policy and Israel, where they're making an increased investment into this area, we wanted to look at how we may be able to synchronize existing programs to maximize commercial space cooperation amongst our industry. And one of the outcomes and one of the ways we thought that might happen would be to look at a focused commercial space incubator that's really looking at international cooperation and developing commercial space capabilities.
And so what are the ultimate aims of the project?
Well, in its most successful form, what we would envision would be a facility where that facility is located at the Kennedy Space Center, and it is able to draw upon all the resources and the benefit of the facilities and the workforce along the Space Coast, where we are able to help companies from an incubation perspective grow and develop in the commercial space industry. This incubator would be one whereby we would also try to help U.S. companies and develop international partners for them from Israel, whereby Israeli companies that are also working in this space would have U.S. partners and U.S. facilities for purposes of cooperation and having access to infrastructure that is available on the Space Coast.
And finally, can you tell me about the type of activities that the incubator will be involved with?
a facility like this would be focused on enabling companies for technology development. So in addition to identifying the right U.S. companies and Israeli companies under framework programs between the governments to cooperate, it would also be to utilize existing government programs whereby we can hopefully direct grants to companies to support joint commercialization, to support joint technology development, and to actually help small companies in their cooperation and successful completion of technology products and capabilities and services that can help both U.S. and Israeli industries develop a vibrant, robust commercial space sector.
And thank you very much indeed for your time.
A new study on orbital space tourism demand, published by the International Institute of Space Commerce, offers a new analysis and perspective on the industry, taking into account that since 2008, the financial landscape has changed considerably, highlighting the need for up-to-date data on the demand side. It considers a market outlook including evaluating the price elasticity in a price range of $5 to $20 million per flight, and assesses the potential market for the period 2012 to 2022. Increasing interest in orbital space tourism has been generated by recent developments of projects and organisations such as Excalibur, Galactic Suite and Bigelow's Space Complex Alpha, as well as the Russian Orbital Technologies plans. Although recent years have seen a number of excellent studies published, mainly focusing on suborbital demand, there has been until now few detailed studies available on the market demand for orbital's personal spaceflight. The study is now available online from www.iisc.im. Here's Tricia with more launch news.
At a ceremony on May the 7th at the Soyuz launch complex at the Guiana Space Centre in French Guiana, Jean-Yves Le Gall, Chairman and CEO of Arianespace, received the keys to the launch complex from the Director General of ESA. This major milestone followed the successful conclusion of the operational qualification procedure, which has been taking place at the complex. Both facilities and personnel are now ready for the first launch campaign slated for October, with the first Soyuz 2 satellites in the Galileo satellite positioning system. Operated alongside the Ariane 5 heavy launcher and Vega light launcher at the Guiana Space Centre, Soyuz will round out ESA's family of launch vehicles operated by Arianespace, which can now offer launch solutions for all types of missions. NASA managers have set the liftoff of Space Shuttle Endeavour for 8:56 a.m. EDT on Monday, May the 16th. Launch attempts are available through May the 26th, except for May the 21st. The STS-134 mission to the ISS is the penultimate shuttle flight and the final one for Endeavour. The shuttle has been undergoing a series of repairs since the launch postponement on April the 29th, caused by a short in the heater circuit associated with Endeavour's hydraulic system, which was replaced on May the 4th. STS-134 Commander Mark Kelly and his 5 crewmates have arrived at Kennedy for pre-launch preparations. The crew will deliver the Alpha Magnetic Spectrometer 2 and critical supplies to the space station, including 2 communications antennas. The crew also will transfer Endeavour's orbiter boom sensor system to the station, where it could assist spacewalkers as an extension for the station's robotic arm. The first space-based infrared system, GEO-1, built by Lockheed Martin for the US Air Force, was successfully launched from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station on May the 7th, on board a United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket. GEO-1 is the most technologically advanced military infrared satellite ever developed and will deliver vastly improved missile warning capabilities. Communic Asia 2011. Asia's largest knowledge-based ICT platform is the most recognised one-stop knowledge platform for digital multimedia and entertainment technology.
As part of the Astrium-led Earth Observation Hub project at the International Space Innovation Centre, Small satellite pioneer Surrey Satellite Technology Limited has completed the installation of key ground station equipment for use on existing and future UK space missions. James has the story.
This comprehensive new ground station provides everything needed to plan mission operations, communicate with satellites and downlink images and other information for a wide range of missions. It will initially be used to operate the SSTL built Tech Demosat 1 satellite, which is being developed through a grant from the UK's Technology Strategy Board and planned for launch next year. Satellites are tasked from the Mission Operations Centre using the mission planning system. For example, for an imaging mission, a user can program where and when an image should be acquired days or weeks in advance. This tasking of the spacecraft and the subsequent image acquisition is highly automated, helping to reduce the cost of operations. After the missions are planned, the Spacecraft Operations Centre will track the satellites as they orbit Earth, automatically managing each satellite as it passes. The highly automated systems orientate the antenna, download telemetry data and provide spacecraft control and analysis functions to operator workstations. The ISIC ground station has been qualified using both the UK DMC and UK DMC2 satellites, validating the telemetry, monitoring and spacecraft command capabilities of the system. Images from the UK DMC have also been successfully downloaded and processed to extract valuable information on the Earth's environment.
Thank you, James, and now here's Carrie-Anne with more news.
CASBAA has announced the addition of 3 new corporate members to its varied roster of organisations: Broadcasters GBN, Global Broadcasting Network of Thailand and GOTV of Pakistan, along with technology provider NewTek of Belgium. In the meantime, legal services provider TransAsia Lawyers of China has joined the association as a patron member and will take a new seat on the Council of Governors, CASBAA's leading advisory group. Simon Twiston-Davies, the association's CEO, told SatTV Week that the growing membership in 2011 reflects CASBAA's international and sectoral reach at a time of great change for the multi-channel TV and communications industries across Asia and the rest of the world.
Thank you, Carrie-Anne. And finally, US-based global connectivity leader EMS Technologies has announced that products and solutions offered through its Global Resource Management Unit will soon be compatible with GLONASS, the Russian constellation of 26 positioning and navigation satellites. The products will be introduced later this year through a distribution agreement between EMS Global Tracking and MVS Global Telecommunications Moscow. The company also anticipates being able to support upcoming GPS constellations like Galileo in Europe and Beidou navigation system in China without any modifications to the antenna. That's all for this week. Thank you for watching.